I was surrounded by people that were happy to do sales, and that's okay for everyone.
Yeah.
I just had this inner burning desire to start to build businesses because I'd always done it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to my podcast here. And I'm really, truly delighted to have one of the best people that I know in the industry. And that is absolutely no lie. He's done some absolutely amazing things. And his name is Andre Chin. He is the owner of Keller Williams.
We're doing a bit of a joint podcast today for the first time with the Real Estate Hustle podcast. That is my show. My name's Andre Chin with the Real Estate Hustle podcast. So thank you for joining us. And to kind of what Steve says, so I'm an operating partner of Keller Williams Innovation. So owner operator KW Innovation. I'm the owner founder of the Icon Group, which is our expansion network, and Compass Real Estate Advisors. We're also partnered in several other businesses as well. So deep dive on that today with Steve. It's very rare that I get the opportunity to not be the one that's doing the interview and to having to give that control of. So Steve, take us away, man.
And I appreciate that. And, you know, it is an honor to be the person who's actually finally putting you under the hot seat, because I've seen listened to a lot of your podcasts, you know, whether you're down in the States at family reunion doing interviews and that sort of thing of some mega agents down there, you know, or out about, online doing interviews of other people. You're always talking about everybody else. And I think it's really important for people to get to know Andre. Now, like, he's kind of like the Keller Williams guy. He kind of got this business. He's got these investment, like, there's so many different things that you do as a person who's in the industry. And it's kind of weird because we were having this conversation the other day where we're talking about, like, you know, reaching out to Andre and like, I'll call you and you pick up the phone.
Yes.
The first thing is how did you get there? And number two is, how do you do it with all those things on the go? You know, there's many people who can't do one thing and keep that on the go. How do you keep all these pots spinning? So I think to kind of start it off, let's first kind of go to the way back playback and kind of talk about, you know, what got you into this industry and how did you kind of get past? Like, I think everybody, you know, especially when you're talking to, you know, from the real estate perspective, you know, new agents, but also from the business perspective, you know, this podcast is oriented to small business owners as well, you know, not just real estate magnates like yourself. And so, you know, I want to kind of talk about what did that first year look like? How'd you get over some of those big pitfalls and kind of start there?
Business has always kind of been something. I've always had an entrepreneurial kind of heart and soul within me. Like, I started my first business when I was in elementary school. I'm in grade 5, and so my grandma had a farm. And one of the things I noticed is I like to eat good. I like to take care of myself. And so I didn't want to be the guy at school that was, you know, buying stuff in the tuck shop all the time and all this other stuff. So I started bringing in my own fruits and my own vegetables and that sort of stuff from my grandma's farm. Well, then people were like, hey, I want a cherry. I want a mango. I want this. I want that. And I was like, well, there's a business opportunity here. And it got so bad when I was in elementary school that I got sent to the principal's office because I was doing more in sales volume for snacks than the entire school was doing.
That's amazing.
Oh, it was the best. I had it set up in
They
the
just
back.
wanted profit share.
They wanted their piece of the pie, right? But it started even then. And I actually worked out a deal with them that I could sell my stuff, but I couldn't do it in the classroom. I could only do it at a certain location. And I worked out a deal with the school. And that was my first kind of business venture that I was able to buy my first bike myself. I was able to buy my first, I think at the time it was Super Nintendo was the big thing. I was able to do that on my own and not wait for mom and dad. And then that just sort of stuck with me as I kept going through life. I worked for a catering company. When I was 13, I was working for an off-track betting and gambling institution that I convinced them to hire me. I convinced them I was 17 and that I could work there.